If you would Google who's the richest man of Punjab, the answer that you would get would be Mr. Rajinder Gupta. इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट का एक ऐसा फेज आता है कि it is now or never.
I recall I went almost 4 times very close to bankruptcy. In those days, if you are in trouble, if you are honestly doing well and you are in trouble for any reasons, banks used to support you.
Let's talk about business ethics. Variable and staunch.
I got great opportunities in my life to grow multiple times what we have grown today. But my leaders or my mentors told me, do what is more ethical than making money. One time when I want to go to convent school, my first donation fees were paid by someone else. When we started convent school in Barnala, Bethany sisters started that, we donated. And I only mentioned that it's not me who started the school, it's not me who is working here. Somebody paid 500 rupees one time on me. Now it's coming as maybe in crores out of that. I will not say how many crores. And the boys and girls who've been taught here can be a multiplier effect.
Probably one or two characteristics that you see in a boy or a girl that you would call fire in the belly.
His own ambition, true ambition, not the. And third is humbleness. There are 3 ways. I do classify the wealth into 3. Creation of wealth, generation of wealth, and accumulation of wealth.
Let's do this management way. So we'll do a SWOT for the government. Strength, weakness, opportunity, threats. कितने सारे गुप्ताज हम देखते हैं. Was like the Gupta age भी था हमारा. So what is it with that? Do you think so?
That you should not invest more than you're earning. And practically one thought which probably goes into the genetic is that your expenditure should not be higher than your income. Likh ke kha.
As a politician, would you like to talk about the weakness of the government?
So if the people are weak, if the state has certain weakness, and that's any government's weak.
If you would Google who's the richest man of Punjab, the answer that you would get would be Mr. Rajinder Gupta. The founder, Trident Group, a man who transformed a small manufacturing unit into a global conglomerate. Ladies and gentlemen, I had this opportunity to hear Mr. Gupta during one of the events, and all through I felt I was sitting at Harvard Business School because every question he answered was a management lesson in itself. Well, now if you think that he is rich only in terms of material wealth, think again. He carries himself a wealth of experience, knowledge, and vision. With me, ladies and gentlemen, I have this esteemed opportunity to interview one of the finest industrialists of the country. If I have to put it rightly, industrialist par excellence, a philanthropist, a visionary, member of parliament from Rajya Sabha for Aam Aadmi Party, PadmaShri Rajinder Gupta. Sir, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Payalji. I don't deserve what you all said, but I'm humbled, I'm privileged.
Thank you. Sir, my first question would be, generally, I think the question is, how was the journey? But as we are aware, you dropped out of school at the age of 14. So I want to know, sir, in fact, our audience would want to know, how was the journey? How do you remember your day one, the first week, month, or the year?
Well, these questions are being asked many times. But honestly speaking, I will not recall how the life started because you never knew where the life was going to lead. So you never made any diary, you never recall. So because once, it was not a planned journey. It was not a beginning or the end. It started like many others. It started with me. God was very kind to me. God is very kind to me. My family is very supportive. The ecosystem is very, very conducive. I'm so lucky to have been blessed to being taught or being learned from all these seasoned, experienced, and very renowned global personalities. So I'll simply say it is a accumulation of learning from all the elders who have gone through this.
So you talked about ecosystem. सब ecosystem में तो पहले हम लुधियाना शहर की बात करते हैं ना. Sir, do you agree with me कि मुझे लगता है कि लुधियाना की मिट्टी में शफा है.
आप सही कह रहे हैं कि लुधियाना में we got the largest entrepreneurs from Ludhiana and renowned, internationally renowned.
Yes, absolutely.
We could see nobody can ever forget Mr. B.M. Munjal. Nobody can ever now name Punjab or India without Sunil Bharti Mittal, and there are many others. I mean, so that's true. But somehow my roots are not from Ludhiana. I am from Alva. My birthplace is Bathinda, and I'm brought up in an area where my approach was more socialistic. My family was little left-oriented, very socialistic, and Malwa was more what you call liberal and more secular as compared to this part. The opportunities were not there, but we groomed up by the very seasoned national leaders. My exposure was more with the seasoned national leaders than with the business leaders. Like many others. If I start naming...
Name one.
Well, I will say Surjit Singh Barnala, I was Kamran Harkishan Singh Surjit, Prakash Singh Ji Badal, and many others on which Punjab doesn't know on a national. I will say Mr. H.N. Bahuguna, Bao Jagjivan Ramji. So I was fortunate enough to being very closely associated with 3 former prime ministers, and then even the bureaucracy of Punjab was very enriching in those days, and they were very supportive.
So, sir, you mentioned that the bureaucracy was very enriching in those days. How do you see it now?
Well, possibly now, earlier everything was being built with the help of the government. There used to be PSIDC, Punjab Industrial Development Corporation. They used to give equity loans. Then there were state wants industrialization. Sizes were too small. I think most of us industrialists from Punjab are being created by the state governments, PSIDCs, PFCs, and all. It could be focal points, it could be loans, it could be equity, it could be licensing. So practically state used to play a very prominent role in that. So now industrialists has gone too big for the state. I mean, some of the industrialist GDP or their own revenue is equivalent to the GDP of the state. So
absolutely. Sir, the name Trident, did you name it or was somebody in the family? How did the name come about?
Earlier the industry name was Abhishek Industries, and my wife was not very keen to keep his son's name for obvious reasons. He said, I don't want to keep myself. Then Trident came. We were 3 brothers, myself, my younger brother Rajinder, Gupta, then Arun. So we were 3 brothers. We thought the 3 powerful factors put together, and Rajinder is doing very well. Myself, God is kind, and I lost my youngest brother. His son is doing good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sir, हर इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट का एक ऐसा फेज आता है कि इट इज़ नाउ और नेवर, एंड जितने भी यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं वो आपको सुन रहे हैं. अब तो वो नाउ और नेवर के बहुत फेजेस भी आते हैं, लेकिन उस टाइम पे जो ये फेजेस आते थे ये बहुत कम आते थे. हम बोलते थे अपॉर्चुनिटी स्ट्राइक्स एट योर डोर ओनली वंस. So, sir, for you, what was that now or never? What was the decision making?
Now or never was not, if you see a journey of last 50 years, I could say now or never.
Like the turning point.
Well, we can call anything, we can find any good English phrase for that or any good. Now or never happens in my life many times. I will admit that possibly, I recall I went almost 4 times very close to bankruptcy.
Oh.
So it has not been so easy, but all the time, the support of the government and support of the banks was much higher than today's environment. In those days, if you are in trouble, if you're honestly doing well, and you are in trouble for any reasons, banks used to support you, the government used to support you, and they used to tell that you should not let go. If they see a spark into you, if they see your intents are good, they were more pursuance than you. I mean, I was being pursued by the bankers and by the government more than when I used to get it let go, or I used to be on the line on, okay, what to do. My encouragement came from the system, not from me, my family. The system encouraged me more.
Mr. Gupta, to hear this, my encouragement came from the system is a very powerful statement. आजकल तो ये बहुत ज़्यादा dubious हो चुका है. So this is amazing to hear, sir. This is, I think, a
I
very
don't know how much time you have.
positive
I don't
thing.
know how much time you have. I can quote one example. I was on the verge of bankruptcy in one of the units, and it was being funded by the industrial banks, and the state government was almost a majority stakeholders.
And which this year?
I was talking almost in 90s or 90 somewhere, and I went to call on my one of very seasoned senior lead bureaucrat of the state, who was happened to be my chairman. I don't mind mentioning his name, Mr. R.I. Singh. He was the industry secretary and also
Mr. R.S. Singh.
and principal secretary to the Honorable CM. So I said, sir, company is not doing well. I don't feel myself competent and capable, and I would like to put my papers. Why can't you have someone who can really bring this organization? I still remember his word. He just smiled and offered me a cup of tea. Says, अगर आपका मन है तो बात अलग है, but state has a full hope on you. We'll stand by you. Believe it. In 6 months, company turned around. There are many examples. I can quote examples
please,
of
yes.
Mr. Koti Nair, who was a great visionary for the industry in Punjab. He was so supportive. He used to drive me in his own car, and he used to pay for my tickets.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there are many examples.
Yeah.
Many examples.
Yeah, yeah.
I can name all the previous leaders who had. It's a great story of the Trident success story is totally dedicated or totally indebted to the system, to the political system, to the administrative system, and to the banking system of our state as well as the country. And same in Madhya Pradesh. I must say the system was more supportive.
Oh.
And they were more encouraging than my own conviction.
Oh, really? So it's so good to hear that. This is brilliant. Sir, I think I need to rephrase this sentence here. Behind every successful man, there is an effective system, support of the family, and of course, the vision itself.
I think it's a good intent. If you carry things with a true and positive intent, and if you're honest and your conviction is high, people can see through that, and they support the cause. They support the purpose, and they support the institutions. If you are building an institution, you get a support.
So this brings me exactly to my next question. So let's talk about business ethics. Variable and staunch. Some you think are variable, some should be staunch. You cannot bend these.
Business ethics are very important. हम पंजाब या हमारे धर्म में कहा जाता है कि आप जिस कुर्सी पे बैठे हो शिवा की गद्दी है, और हमारे पहली पाशा कहती थी कि भी ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਆਪਦੀ ਕਿਰਤ ਦੀ ਕਮਾਈ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਆਪਦੀ ਧਰਮ ਦੀ ਕਮਾਈ है, दैट इज़ दी मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट. चाहे हम भाई लालो की बात करें, चाहे जो भी बात करें, जो आपके कर्म हैं, जो आपका धर्म है. हम कह रहे हैं हमारा कर्म हमारा धर्म है. And the many stories, I don't know if I can tell you stories how I got great opportunities in my life to grow multiple times what we have grown today. But my leaders or my mentors told me, do what is more ethical than making money. Leave something which is good for the country, good for the state, and good for the family. And sometimes the peace is more important. Mental peace and mental health is very important than only having the... I will not call rich, I'll call enrichment is equally important than the rich.
Brilliant, sir. So, especially the young entrepreneurs who are listening to you, sir, what is that topmost business ethic that you think that you cannot bend, staunch, and one could be variable, that you can probably take leverage, but at the same time, the intention be right?
There are no shortcuts to success.
Yes.
And I can tell you, I read somewhere, or I have heard somewhere, that we Indians, or from this part of the world, we are very blessed. And somebody told me that the Western world is very knowledgeable, technology, they are Einsteins of the day. And Eastern world is Buddha. And if you're Buddha from inside and Einstein from outside, if you want to collect all the wisdom, all the knowledge what is available, and you want to absorb that, and still you have your golden heart, or you're wise enough to understand what is good for the society. And I can tell you one thing, You did mention that I'm a successful industrialist or whatever. Let me confess, I never enjoyed this innings as industrialist. This is one of my least. Industry balance sheet is my occupation. Is my occupation. My passion is welfare, to serve the society. My passion is somewhere else. But this through business, I could able to serve the society. There are many examples like women empowerment, women employment in backward areas, building the cities. When I went to Barnala, it's 30,000 people. Now it's almost 5 lakh people. When we went to Budni, it was almost like 5,000 people and having only one two-wheeler. Now it is a bubbling town. So there are, how to build a ecosystem around you is very important. Then being only building within the walls, building outside the walls are more important. And I can tell you, we are running one program, Takshila. More than 20,000 young boys and girls who are from a very humble family, who could not do the studies, have been trained. They are given stipend. It's known as earn, learn, and grow. They're earning, they're learning, and they're growing. And many of them are serving multinational organizations from a very small cities, from a very humble family background. And few are serving as an IFS, so working in IAS, so working in IPS. Many are working in banking. They are working across the world, and that's alumni.
Oh, so would you call this your biggest achievement?
Well, I think my mother, we are from very humble background. I was not, you said, a school dropout. And I thought, if a person like me, given an opportunity without under the compelled circumstances, you worked hard. So these boys and girls are more blessed, and they are more hardworking. And we chosen certain norms that they has to be first class, or they throughout their career, or then they are from a humble family background. They're sole earners. We choose many boys and girls who are only sole earners for the family, either the elder daughter or elder son, and then nobody else earning in the family. So we chose certain social criteria, and who had a fire in the belly, and does not have any kind of and who want to serve the society. I will, my one time when I want to go to convent school, my first donation fees were paid by someone else, my father's friend. He paid 500 rupees as a fee for full 1 year. And so when we started convent school in Barnala, Bethany's sisters started that, we donated. And I only mentioned that it's not me who started the school, it's not me who had working here. Somebody paid 500 rupees one time on me. Now it's coming as maybe in crores out of that. I will not say how many crores. And the boys and girls who've been taught here can be a multiplier effect, can be ripple effect to the economy or ripple to the society. So these are all, I'm not the only one. Many did that.
So you just mentioned fire in the belly. So what is that? Probably one or two characteristics that you see in a boy or a girl that you would call fire in the belly.
First is a need. It's very difficult to
Significant factor, sir.
need.
Yes.
Second, his own ambition, true ambition, not the. And third is humbleness. And अगर वो सीखना चाहता है, उसकी ज़रूरत है सीखने की. और कहीं कोई ज़माना था हम कहते ओनरशिप, फिर आया कि पैशनेट. अब मैं कहूँगा obsessed. He was obsessed. And sometimes obsessed has always been considered as a self-centered or I don't mind being self-centered. I think there's no harm. If you can do now again, I can take, there are 3 ways I do classify the wealth into 3. Creation of wealth, generation of wealth, and accumulation of wealth. Some people generate wealth. Teachers generate wealth. Doctors generate wealth. Some accumulate wealth. Someone's loss, your profit. So if you are a creator of wealth in any kind, it could be by creating a great person on the society, you are creating a great institution, you are creating good thought. I mean, if you're a creator of wealth, that's the biggest thing, then accumulator of wealth.
So this also brings me to my next question. Very interesting one. I think a question that you would not have anticipated. Sir, tell me honestly, what is it with the Gupta genes? कितने सारे Guptas हम देखते हैं. What's like the Gupta age भी था हमारा. So what is it with that? Do you think so?
I think they're very pragmatic. And for them, there's one thing which works out that you should not invest more than you're earning. And practically, one thought which probably goes into the genetic is that your expenditure should not be higher than your income. लिख के खा. What you earned, don't do. जब अपने चादर दे के पैर पसारो या लिख के खा. And then a calculative risk.
Calculative risk is, I think, quite significant here. Wonderful. Sir, now, in your entire journey, I'm sure you've mentioned about your achievements, your biggest achievements. Do you still have the bucket list of I wish or I want to?
This endless bucket list. We all are, we all make dreams. Three things are very important. I know I'm too small for that. Three things: how to make India where the primary health or the secondary health becomes accessible, affordable, and health should not become a business, it should become a service. Second is in education. How we can really bring an education which builds characters, find out, shape people, they chisel people, children, with the values and not make them superficial. Gurukul, not the paid schools. I mean, education and health should not be a business. They should not be commercialized. I mean, they should be self-sustained, but should not be commercialized. And they are the creators of the society. And lastly, I would say how to bring skill, not only degrees. Skilling not only in terms of हम कह रहे हैं कि skill is not only how to earn, but how to be a good human being.
Life
skill.
Skills, right,
how
sir.
to make humanity is also a skill.
Correct, sir. Very important.
How to handle the entire system is a skill or a craft or an art. I will put together skill, art and craft, how you really bring all put
wonderful.
together.
That's wonderful. Sir, before we move on to your next role, the newly acquired role, my last question is, being a voracious reader, your top pick books, like the 5 best management books or the management gurus, or the younger generation should read, you think? Why just the younger generation?
I
all
must
generations?
confess, I never read any book.
You've never read a
I
book?
never read any book. I used to read the titles. I used to read the last page. Even, let me make a revelation. I never read between the lines. I only read a snap reader. Even a letter given to me or a book given to me, I never read line by line. I never read word by word. I am a quick snap reader. I don't know reading much practically. So
Sir, now moving on to your role as the Member of Parliament representing Aam Aadmi Party. Sir, talking about the same event in which I had the opportunity to listen to you in person, I asked you a question, that being a journalist, although we were not allowed to ask any political question, but I said, being a journalist, I'm sitting here, I cannot help asking. So I asked you that, how do you see, it was in 2022. So I asked you the question that, how do you see Aam Aadmi Party faring well in Punjab? And you said, it's too early to say. Now, we are close to the next term of election. So let's do this management way. So we'll do a SWOT for the government. Strength, weakness, opportunity, threats. How do you see being now part of the Aam Aadmi Party? Strengths, let's talk about strengths. What are their strengths?
let me first mention to you, I am very much thankful to my leaders of the party, Arvind Kejriwal ji, Bhagwant Mann ji, that they've given me an opportunity. So when you see as an opportunity as a member of parliament, your role is not confined to the party. Your role is to the state of Punjab. I owe and to the people of Punjab who elected the MLAs. They elected you. So they voted for a cause, they voted for a purpose, first of all, and I'm being made a catalyst for that. I'm very thankful for that. So that's my first, in anything which makes Punjab more prosperous, more peaceful, more harmonious, and financially stable and sound, and also give more opportunities to youth in the state instead of going out, and how to really bring and use the entrepreneurial capabilities and competency within the state. And above all, सरबत दा भला, और जो पंजाब दी बहुत बड़ी स्ट्रेंथ है और स्ट्रेंथ रहेगी, मन नीवा मत उच्ची, और ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਰਕਰਾਰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਰੱਖਣਾ, that's very important for that. And any government of the day or this government of the day, I think are committed to those things, committed to the last mile of water. They are ensuring the irrigation water should go to the tail ends of Punjab. They are harnessing those that help in terms of the problem of water depletion, helps in terms of power subsidies to the farmer. Practically, they are getting a more sensible water, the more irrigable water. Instead of getting the water from the ground, not only they're paying, hurting the ecosystem, they also, the water quality was not good in some of the district of the states, rather more district of states. So my humble submission, that's the biggest achievement for that. Then taking care of the, I should not say people who really need very balanced life in terms of electricity, in terms of taking care for their family economical needs. Maybe this could be a success story for the very great nations where they assure people that their economical and social securities are part of the government policies, and government always stand for welfare of people. In turn, they given them the political stability. I think there's a, sometime the ruling governments or any governments across the world, they used to barter a social, economical prosperity as a welfare state, and in turn, society offers them a stable government.
As a politician, would you like to talk about the weakness of the government?
Well, every government wants to do more than what they can do. And any governments think that they are strong and they know weakness as the biggest mistake one can commit. So if the people are weak, if the state has certain weakness, and that's any government's weakness, I will not call any, if there's some, if something is bothering the society, bothering the state, it could be a national issue, it could be international issue, it could be a state issue. No, it could no. You can say war happened, you can say Sandhur happened, you can say many things happened. We are a border state, we have our own challenges, we are very small in terms of 1.5 in the national area. We are almost 90% almost exposed to agriculture. Our strength was being an agrarian state. Now that is a strength and that's a weakness. We are very entrepreneurial. We are very enterprising. We believe in migrations. So we are landlocked. And the opportunities right across the globe. There's a strength that we are very competent, capable people. There's a weakness also that people move to the opportunity. So strength becomes a weakness. So those strength and those weakness are how to hold the weakness into strength and how to say the strength may not become weakness. And how the opportunities may not become a threat. Like we had an opportunity for agriculture. Now it's a threat.
So what's the biggest threat apart from this that you see in the next coming elections?
The state had we're gifted by two big things, subsoil water and a snow melted water. That was the biggest achievement for our farming and for even for industrial growth. I think gradually we are deprived by both. The subsoil water is being a challenge, and snow melted water now, because state has been carved into any, those snow melted water also got being harnessed or being controlled. So there's two areas which needs to be reinvented. And then we grown around the GT road. See, people migrate from Pakistan, very hardworking. They migrate to Amritsar, and after the 65 war, they migrate to Ludhiana, and they built the entire industrialization, medium and small. They've grown big, but some part of the country, like or the state, the southwestern part of the state has more opportunities to offer. We have to see why only GT road. And second threat is a concentration of cities. How we can really de-urbanize major cities, and how we provide facilities which can be made available to tier 2 and tier 3. So the migration from those cities should not happen for the want of education, for health, for opportunities to the major towns. And that will prevail upon the ecosystem of pollution, water, congestion, law and order, and many other things.
Right. Sir, lastly, I would like to pick up a report card here. So you have to give the grading to the government, to the present Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab, headed by the Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann. So, sir, in terms of development, so what would you give? A, B, C, D. So how do you see the development?
Payal, is a very interesting question. And let me say very humbly, I should not and must not make any kind of a report card for my state of our leadership. First of all, they are our leaders. Number two, they are elected leaders by the people. And what I want to say, I will or may sound biased. So I will not do any justice to answer this question, but I can simply say the man knows the ground reality. He touches the heart, he touches the emotions, and he understands everything what is happening in the state.
So, in terms of sitting in an industrial town, so what's your vision and how do you see the final question, the industrial development of our city?
Well, I must compliment the Invest Punjab or Progressive Punjab event took place in Chandigarh few days ago. I think it's created a very positive vibe. It brought when they say government mean business, and they did a great job in bringing confidence, reviving a spirit of entrepreneurship, and especially focusing on medium and small scale, which is the backbone of this. And they did a very marathon homework to recultivate and to rebuild the confidence and commitment of the state to re-energize medium and small scale industries.
All right, sir. Sir, coming elections, how do you see yourself being positioned? Would you be continuing with the same party or would there be a change?
Did anybody answer this question before?
I like that. Time will tell.
Nothing else. First of all, I'm not a whole timer as a politician. Let me be very clear on that. My role is not as a politician. I will be if given a choice, I am a social change maker. If in case I can do anything for the welfare of the state by any means, either being part of the party or working for any party or even being there. So I was with the government last many years, and some government listened to you, they admired you. Some people had always we learned is a cross learning, and we bring what we know on the table and we learn what they had on the table. This is very fertile and very healthy discussions, and we are very blessed by that.
Wonderful. So, final parting message for the investors who want to come to Punjab as both an industrialist and a politician.
Well, I think that job is very well done by our Honorable Industry Minister and by Chief Minister Punjab and by the party leader Arvind Kejriwal ji. I will not repeat. My major call to my youth who has gone out of the state to come back and build the state again. And secondly, my humble and a very painful appeal to the youth and the families, especially to the mothers and the sisters, to ensure how we can take pride in Chadda Punjab, Chaddi Kala, Rangala Punjab, how we can get away from the drug addictions. And only women in the family can play a very major role. And I can understand the pain and agony. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੁੱਖ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਆ, ਬਸ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਮੁਕਤ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ, ਚਾਹੇ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਪੈਸੇ ਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ, ਨਸ਼ਾ ਪਾਵਰ ਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਵੇ, ਅੰਦਰਲਾ ਨਸ਼ਾ, ਬਾਹਰਲਾ ਨਸ਼ਾ, ਇੱਕ ਰੂਹਾਨੀ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਏ, ਬਾਕੀ ਸਭ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਣ.
Rangla Punjab, Vasda Punjab. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your vision with us. Thank you.